Welcome back to Brain Pro, your home for metal talking news. Please like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so you can get our daily updates. Thank you.
In hell, there's Mob Rules, there's Dehumanizer. Yes, we are allowing inclusion of The Devil You Know, the album that came out under the name Heaven and Hell, even though we all know that, of course, was also a Sabbath record. And then there are people that are very partial to the Tony Martin era, and then there are people that love the Born Again album now, which was much maligned when that record first came out. And now, 35 years later, whatever it is, there are people that think that is like a forgotten masterpiece. Outside the cover, which most people universally are not a fan of, there's a lot of Spinal Tap stuff that went on around that Ian Gillan record, right down to the stage show at the time.
What the heck was this cover supposed to be?
I don't know, like the evil fetus or something? I don't know.
You know what? Evil Fetus would be a way better title for that record.
Yeah. Yeah, but
look at this thing.
Oh, I'm well aware of it.
Kill it!
It's like a gargoyle or something. I don't know what the hell that is, but yeah, was very, very Sabbathy at the time. And then there was a great story with the Stonehenge at that time. Something that was actually like real life Spinal Tap, where the Stonehenge stones they wanted to use in the show were too small or too big to fit in the place. Like, it was real life Spinal Tap. But over the years, that record, Zero the Hero, Disturbing the Peace, Trashed, there's a lot of people that like that record. I would love to see that record remixed. It's got a thin sort of sound, which I think a lot of people have grown to like, kind of in the way people have grown to like the And Justice record from Metallica.
You know, Eddie, speaking of Black Sabbath, Geezer played another show with his Deadland Ritual bandmates over the weekend.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Where was that?
It was at some, hang on one sec here. I saw the story.
I hope that band hangs in there. I haven't been hearing much about them. The scattered show here and there, a couple songs. We had them on for an LA Invasion. I really hope they hang in there, though. I really hope they make the long haul.
Oh, it was a couple of weeks ago at the Aftershock Festival.
Oh, okay. And they did downloads. They've done some high profile shows, but I really hope they make it and get a full record and get a record deal and get going. But it's tough, man. We've seen a million of these groups come together, made up of guys of other prominent bands, and they just don't make it because most of the artists aren't fully committed to it. They're committed to their main bands. And then they realize how hard it is to get something going with something brand new, even if the people in the band have big name value. And they just aren't in it for the long haul, for what it takes to really get something established. I'm not saying that's the case with these guys because they've been hanging in there so far, but it's been a little outside of a scattered show or two. It's been a little quiet as far as them getting a deal or releasing a full album.
I don't know how you want to deconstruct this, but about half their set was Black Sabbath material.
Well, sure, they've got nothing to play. They've got 2 songs. I think they've released to the public to date 2 songs. So what else would they be able to play but Sabbath tunes? Because Geezer's there. Do they do a Billy Idol song? You have the set list?
Yeah, they did Rebel Yell.
All right, so that's the Steve Stevens thing. And do they do a Guns N' Roses or a Velvet Revolver song?
Not that I'm seeing.
Which would have been Sorum, or a Cult song?
No.
Could have made that play with Sorum.
What original songs do they have?
The Deadline Ritual has released 2 original songs, to my knowledge. I think they've have 5 or so, but I don't think they've released to the public more than 2 at this point.
Yeah, because I think they did a couple of original songs. They did, obviously, one that they've released.
Shot Down in Flames, I think was one, right?
Well, no, Broken and Bruised and Down in Flames, they both did.
Right.
And then a couple other songs that I assume are original compositions that just haven't been released yet.
Yeah, so, of course, if they're going to do a show until they put out at least 1 full album, they're going to have to play, and it's great they're doing Sabbath stuff. I mean, I think they're doing Heaven and Hell, right? They were doing a Dio era Sabbath song.
Well, let's see, the Sabbath songs they did Symptom of the Universe, Neon Nights.
So there's a Dio
Oh, no, they
one.
did do Velvet Revolver. They did Slither. I stand corrected. Sweet Leaf, NIB, and then War Pigs.
So one Dio one with Neon Nights. And now you have two bands out there doing the same Velvet Revolver song. You've got Deadland Ritual doing Slither. And for the last couple of years, Guns N' Roses has been doing Slither, which is actually pretty mind-blowing if you think about it. I mean, again, going back to the Guns N' Roses thing, it's crazy when you think about it, that this thing is gone for as long as it's gone, and that, like, go back just like 4 years and envision anybody telling you that GNR would still be touring, would be going on time every night for the most part. Oh yeah, and Slash and Duff are going to be playing songs from Chinese Democracy, and Axl's going to be singing a Velvet Revolver song.
They'd ask,
people would run me off the radio with such ridiculousness.
are you from the mirror universe? What realm are you from?
It's ridiculous that this is happening.
This is not our reality. This is not supposed to happen. GNR did some song. I'm trying to find. They did some song for the first time in God knows how many years. What was it, last week or so?
Circle back to what I said a few minutes ago. Everyone is on tour. And if they're not, they will be. And if they aren't going to be, they will find a way to be. Everyone is on tour, and no farewell is ever a farewell.
Oh, they played Dead Horse for the first time in 26 years.
That's been going back in the set, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think the big question with Guns N' Roses is when they're done here, which is soon, what's next? Because Slash, when he was on with me, I don't know, a month or so ago, said that there's one or two things early next year Guns is going to do, and that's pretty much it. So then the question becomes, well, then what's next from there for Guns N' Roses? Like, where do they go? I think it's a pipe dream. They make a full new record. Can they get a song out? A song? I don't know. I think you're dreaming if you think it's going to be an album. That's just my opinion. I just don't think that that's happening. But hope I'm wrong. But a song? Maybe. Obviously, Slash said, and looks like it was true that nothing going on with this Terminator movie, which was a big rumor. So they're going to reach that point where they're going to go away for a couple years and build up demand again and just cherry pick big events that they get huge offers to do. Or can they actually become a band that actually goes into a studio, makes a record, does press as a group, and really tours and becomes a full-fledged band in that way? I don't know. And then the question for Slash becomes, because Slash just goes right into his Miles Kennedy band immediately, as we saw coming right off the last GNR thing, when there's no activity for Guns N' Roses now. I got to tell you, I saw Miles a couple weeks ago at Exit 111. He admitted to me he has been burning at both ends. He told me that this year he's going to have done 300 shows this year. That's a lot on a singer. So my point being is he's in alter bridge mode right now. I don't know if he's going to be physically able to, whenever the alter bridge cycle ends, snap right back into on like a day off and then right into Slashland like he's done before. I don't know. The guy's remarkable what he's able to do, but he may be reaching his limits to be able to do that without some much needed downtime. So we'll see. A lot of some interesting chapters to be written in that particular saga as well. Ed, do we have an ETA on Mr. Child?
No, I'm trying to find either him or our good buddy Eric Lufter.
And musician is a pivotal moment, because where did that shift where you said, you know what, I'm not going to be worried about having my name on the cover of the records. I'm going to worry about writing some songs and having my name listed real small with the other writers, but actually be just as creative and lucrative, really, let's be honest.
It wasn't that thought through, because I really did want to be the biggest star in the world. But when my group broke up, I kind of went into an incubation period, and I found a producer, Bob Crue, who had produced the Four Seasons and wrote all the songs with Bob Gaudio. And I don't know if you've seen Jersey Boys.
I have not.
He's one of the characters in Jersey Boys. So I spent 2 years with him. You know, it was really like songwriting college. And it was every day, Brill building style. We'd meet at 12, 1 o'clock we'd be writing, and 5 o'clock he'd leave. And that was it, 5 days a week.